Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on a 1541 that came in here yesterday. It came in late afternoon on a Sunday. This machine has been sitting out in the elements. You can see with the fenders on it that it looks pretty tough. Even a dog's chewed on the shifting knob. But the plastic is actually in good shape. Has one flaw right there. That's the only crack. There isn't even a crack in the nose piece. You can see there's some remnants of the sticker on it. This is a 1541. Has an M15 in it, and an M15 is actually an M18. They just relabeled them, and the reason why they relabeled them because John Deere had a 15 horsepower machine that was in the same area, so Cub Cadet wanted a machine that would compete with it. My opinion, an M18 is really good. I'm not a big command lover compared to a lot of other people. I like the opposed. I think the opposed makes more torque. That's just my opinion. I'll probably get some fan mail on that, but the grill's in perfect shape. Now, I know I've made a lot of videos on restoring plastic. All we're going to use is some wizards on it and see if we can make it shine. Actually, I'm going to do about 3 hoods today. It's around 90 degrees. We're extremely warm finally in New York. We go from cold, now rainy. We've had more rain than I've ever seen. Maybe we can get the rest of the corn planted, and because we're getting to the end of June right here now. But we're going to see if we can make it shine, and hopefully, one thing is I am going to be cautious. I'm going to be moving along quite rapidly for the simple reason is I don't want to heat the plastic up because the shop is extremely warm. But this machine has definitely been hammered. The gentleman that had it actually went and bought a brand new John Deere. Wishes that he would have kept this one here, even though it was in tough shape. So it's supposed to run. In future videos, we're going to, and actually the starter has been sitting for about a year out in the elements, so the starter drive is not kicking out. So just going to remove the motor, work on it on the floor. Probably going to part this out. If the frame isn't rusted, I'll keep it for a future build. But if it does have some rust in it, I'll probably just throw it in the dumpster. But we're going to work on the plastic here first. We're not going to wax it, like I said. We're going to just get it buffed up and see how well it looks. Now, I'm going to wear some safety glasses, and I'm going to tell you why. I did get an email from a guy in a comment, and I thought a lot about it. And he said, you only get one set of eyes. And I have to tell you a story. We were planting corn, and I fell off a semi, and I can't see out of my right eye real well right now, and I have an auction. I'm actually an auctioneer too, so I have an auction coming up this next week. A little bit worried about that, and the more I thought about it, I thought, probably ought to start wearing safety glasses. This is a dangerous job. There's no question about it. You never know what's going to happen. It's like running a chisel. You just never know on a hammer. So we're going to buff this out. We're going to try to stay off this decal. The other side doesn't even have the decal. Probably will pinstripe the other side. So we'll see how it turns out. The screen's in very good shape. A little bit of discolor. We'll get that cleaned up. But let's just get it buffed out and go from there. I believe that's going to turn out really good. Now, to get back to the comments, I get quite a few. I appreciate them all. And I do read them all. I'm not really good about the emails, but I do have my sister that checks on them quite often. She actually runs my channel, so. Now, we operate 7 days a week. I know I said that before. If I didn't operate 7 days a week, I would get so far behind you can't even imagine. So We're going to try to keep the buffer off in this emblem right here. The reason why is this will, if the buffer will just take that blue right off. I can't believe this plastic is in such great shape. Usually when the fenders are the way this one is, they usually don't look so good. Now I'm using an old buffing pad right here. I'm waiting for my delivery to come in from my auto parts store here this morning. This one here is getting pretty wore out, but we're going to change the battery, and we're going to put another coat of Wizards on there and see if we can get that a tad brighter. Now another thing is, and I know I said this before, these Cyclopses are painted, so you really have to watch it. You don't want to burn through them. So just always be cautious that these are painted. Now this decal might be a little bit of a problem. And I noticed that we have a little bit of the decal right there. Now two products you never want to use on Cyclops plastic. Never use this 3M specialty adhesive remover, or use grease or wax remover. And I'll tell you why. It'll just take the paint right off in it. And I have no idea why. You would think that it wouldn't be that harsh. But if you put any of them two products right on there, and they're excellent products, don't get me wrong, they're excellent products, but it'll take the paint right off in it and it'll go right straight to the plastic. So don't put any chemicals on it. You definitely just want to spend some time getting that goo off. I'm not sure if that goo off product would take it off without lifting the paint or not, but I've learned that the hard way. I've never disclosed that before on a video, but definitely do not use any of that wax or wax remover on this plastic at all. So yeah, that's one thing is I've ruined some panels doing that. Now it's starting to come off. Know in the comments if anybody's repainted the plastic and painted it back. I've seen a lot of red ones, but I have never seen or heard of anybody that's painted them back the cream color. If you have, let me know. I would be, I'd really like to see what they look like. I remember getting a brand new 1440, and that's why a 1440 is a little bit special to me, and we had a brand new one. Boy, they were a beautiful unit. Now one thing I'm going to do is take a razor and I'm going to see if I can get rid of some of this goo here. And that will help. Now be gentle with a razor. You don't want to cut into it. Now I buffed it and I took a little bit of the paint off in the screens there, but you'll have to just stand back a little bit further so you don't notice it, but let's see if we can get this one off just a tad better there. We're in pretty good shape. We'll get that. Now I cut into it a little bit right there. starting to get pretty shiny. Now I will post a picture of it all waxed, and you can see we have some shine there already. So it should buff out really good. I'm gonna work on the front just a little bit and go from there. So we're gonna move on to a different project here a little bit later, but we're gonna put some wax on it. We're gonna try to get some of that goo off from the stickers, and you'll see the final result.